Zion, roar like a lion. We don't fear no abaddon. We already won the battle. Pour your Holy Spirit, write it in our heart, your sanctuary. Save us from evil, down in the valley Megiddo. The righteous will barely make it. You best to keep it real, you can fake this. Yahuwah, he's a spirit. You can only please him in truth and spirit. So put on your armor with praises. We honor Yahuwah. We ain't dead no more. Clouds rising from the grave. We gon' raise up. We gon' raise up. We gon' raise up. We gon' raise up. It's time to come together.
What good can come from the ghetto? Hello, here now, once bound, free from heavy metal. Shackles out my feet, now I'm mashing on the pedal. Chasing the highest calling, that is why I never settle. Our ancestors had affection for heathen nations ill, so they rejected Yah and decided to rebel. So they threw them curses on them, sold us to everybody, yet nobody really wanted us. Scattered the four corners, 400 years for these dry bones alive, trying to navigate slavery with hate on every side. Now that we are alive, gotta let the flesh die. That's prophetic of the day we take it in the sky. Until the trumpet blow, keep your oil filled. Prayer and meditation, develop like a skill. I speak revival, let the righteous be filled. I speak deliverance, let the sick be healed.
No more clouds rising from the grave. It's time to come together. No more clouds rising from the grave. We gon'
All right, family, I'm back. I'm having some technical difficulties. I'm not really getting a good reception tonight. But if y'all can hear me, can y'all put a 1 in the chat if you can hear me, family? Put a 1 in the chat if you can hear me. If y'all can hear me, put a 1 in the chat. I apologize for the reception, family. I'm over here in Wisconsin in the boondocks. If y'all can hear me, please put a 1 in the chat if y'all can hear me. Sister Shonda, if you can hear me, put a 1 in the chat, sis. Shalom, Hebrew.
Shalom, shalom.
Okay, so you can hear me. I'm having some technical difficulties. I ain't really got a good reception where I'm sitting at right now.
No, you don't?
No, but I'm gonna try to get through this thing though, man. I'm gonna try to get through it.
Okay.
I'm gonna go ahead and get started while I do have a reception. Give me 1 second. I'm gonna go ahead and cue this video. Go ahead and cue this thing. All right, here we go. Before I do that, I want to read the scripture, Hebrew. I'm gonna read from the book of Wisdom of Solomon from the Apocrypha, and I'm gonna read chapter 10, and I'm gonna start at verse 1. And it reads, "Wisdom protected the first form father of the world when he alone had been created. She delivered him from his transgressions and gave him strength to rule all things. But when an unrighteous man departed from her in his anger, he perished because in rage he killed his brother. When the earth was flooded because of him, wisdom again saved it, steering the righteous man by a paltry piece of wood. Wisdom also, when the nations in wicked agreement have been put to confusion, recognized the righteous man and preserved him blameless before Yah, and kept him strong in the face of his compassion for his child. Wisdom rescued a righteous man when the ungodly were perishing. He escaped the fire that descended on the 5 cities. Evidence of their wickedness still remains: a continually smoking wasteland, plants bearing fruit that does not ripen, and a pillar of salt standing as a monument to an unbelieving soul. For because they passed wisdom by, they not only were hindered from recognizing the good, but also left for humankind a reminder of their folly." And the reason why I read that is because these are the descendants of Cain. These are the descendants of Cain. So here we go. Listen to what this Ishmaelite got to say about Esau.
Fictitious story my whole childhood about the West. And I didn't actually get any sort of decent education until I was an adult. And it wasn't provided to me. I had to search it out. I had to find it out. It was hidden from me.
In today's video, I came across a clip of one scholar that I like featuring in this channel. This is Juan Shahid Bolsen from Middle Nation. He has always talked about the need for respect of minority groups. For instance, in United States, there are Black Americans who have been disadvantaged in many aspects. But what Shahid Bolsen is trying to explain here is the fact that respect to Black people or minority groups is what is needed to have a better understanding of who we are as a human population. So listen to this, then let's come back and share our thoughts together.
You know, I saw someone in the comment section the other day saying that, telling me that I shouldn't say the West, I should say Western imperialism to differentiate it from, you know, oppressive Western policies. Okay, I don't know if you've ever known me to be imprecise in my choice of words. I say the West because that's what I mean. I also saw someone saying on the same video that I'm just bitter. How astute of you. Of course I'm bitter. I'm a Westerner. That means that I was taught a fictitious story my whole childhood about the West. And I didn't actually get any sort of decent education until I was an adult. And it wasn't provided to me. I had to search it out. I had to find it out. It was hidden from me. And what I found out was that I actually come from a civilization that never civilized. I came from a so-called civilization that is identical to abject primitivity. I came from a so-called civilization that's what you would expect from people who were raised by wolves. It's like your culture was dropped on its head as a baby. You know, the brain of this so-called civilization has a deformed amygdala. The prefrontal cortex of the Western mind is missing. It's like a psychopath. So yes, I learned that I came from a so-called civilization, a so-called culture that completely failed to develop. You know, we're like the moronic bully in school who pushes people around as a kid, never pays attention, never learns, never studies, and never changes. So that everyone else, everyone that he bullied, eventually surpasses him in adulthood in every conceivable way, in maturity, in skills, in knowledge, in intelligence, in career, in health, in relationships, in everything. While he remains a stunted man-child who nobody can stand, no one wants to be around. Well, that's the West. Every Westerner has been deprived by their ancestors of a history that they can be proud of.
After this video, your life is never going to be the same. So I need you to stop whatever.
A history that gives them a chronological record of their development, their advancement as a people. Because the West is just as primitive, just as barbaric, just as shallow, just as selfish, petty, deceitful, and immature as they were 3,000 years ago. So I say West because I mean the West. You can't divorce imperialism from the so-called civilization that imperialism emerged from. This isn't even just about the endless crimes of the West against the rest of the world. No, I'm talking about the whole so-called culture, the so-called civilization that has utterly and miserably failed its own people. You know, you literally had to suppress everyone else, oppress everyone else, burn, loot, and destroy everything that everyone else had, everything that they built, that everyone else built, everything that they accomplished, just so you could try to make your so-called civilization look developed, only by de-developing everyone else. You had to tie their hands and feet just to pretend that you could beat them in a race. And again, it's just like some dumb bully in school who cheats on his test, cheats on his homework. Okay, you'll get an A on the test, but you're still dumb. And you won't progress educationally at all. That's not going to benefit you. Your appearance of knowledge on a test you cheated on is short-lived. Whereas you can lock the smart kid in the gym locker, but he's still the smart kid. I mean, imagine you go all around the world and smash up everything that other civilizations built, loot what they built, pillage, steal, even steal their ideas and their concepts and their philosophies. And then you sit on top of this mountain of stolen goods and declare yourself to be rich because of your own merit. And imagine telling this lie to your children, to your own children, to your grandchildren, generation after generation. How do you think that's going to go? You didn't invest in creating actual merit. You cheated, you lied, you stole, you brutalized. And then you tell your own people that everyone else in the world has nothing and you have everything because of how much better you are than everyone else. How long is that lie sustainable? I mean, these are people who actually have civilizations, who actually created and built and accomplished and didn't just pillage and plunder. And there's still those people today, even though you have oppressed them, they're still those same people. And you're still the way you are. Wallahi, the West let its people down. The West let their own people down. I mean, a good example actually is African Americans. I don't know if you can think of a people who were more held back, more deprived, more sabotaged than African Americans. You took everything away from them and took them away from everything. They started in your country at less than zero, literally regarded and treated as subhuman, not allowed to learn to read or write or anything for hundreds of years. But you see, they come from a people of accomplishment to one degree or another, not a people of piracy and theft and appropriation. They come from a people who created and built and developed in their own countries, in their own land. And even though you did everything that you could possibly do to suppress them, to hold them down, to hold them back, and you're still doing that until today, nevertheless, I don't think anyone can dispute the fact that African Americans have become a global cultural superpower.
Damn! Damn!
What you got? What you got to say about that?
Even though you raped, robbed, stole, pillaged everything, we still outbeat this heathen.
What you think about that, Hebrew? Hey, I'm gonna go back a little bit.
Yeah.
The West let their own people down. I mean, a good example actually is African Americans. I don't know if you can think of a people who were more held back, more deprived, more sabotaged than African Americans. You took everything away from them and took them away from everything. They started in your country at less than zero, literally regarded and treated as subhuman, not allowed to learn to read or write or anything for hundreds of years. But you see, they come from a people of accomplishment to one degree or another, not a people of piracy and theft and appropriation. They come from a people who created and built and developed in their own countries, in their own land. And even though you did everything that you could possibly do to suppress them, to hold them down, to hold them back, and you're still doing that until today, nevertheless, I don't think anyone can dispute the fact that African Americans have become a global cultural superpower. Culturally, they're a superpower. Whatever cultural soft power that America has in the global South, it's African American. And China, one of the most...
Hebrew. Bro, Mikael.
Yeah, go ahead, Hebrew.
Now you listen to this Ishmaelite, and he basically breaking down and talking about how the West, which is Babylon the Great, spiritual Sodom in Egypt, has taken God's people, oppressed them, treated them as subhuman, refused to allow them to read and write. And like he said, we started out with less than nothing, Hebrew. And now we're a superpower in our own right. Now,
That's right.
Because of the awakening of the Israelite man, woman, and child, we have become a superpower in our own right, Hebrew. And these people from these nations, they recognizing that, bro.
Yep, they see it. Hey, I'm getting fuel right quick, Hebrew. I'm gonna chime in. Just give me a second. Let me get this fuel out the way.
All right, go ahead. Now, let's look at the book of Joel. Let's go to Joel, family. Let's go to Joel. Let's look at Joel chapter 2. Joel chapter 2. Family, y'all in the chat, what do y'all think about? What do y'all think about this video? Do y'all think that the other nations are recognizing the awakening of the Israelites in this country?
You notice
What
he
y'all
said the
think?
globe. You notice he said the global South, where it all started in the South. You notice that he said that, right? Culturally, where it started at is in the South. Just wanted to bring that out. Can you hear me, Hebrew? Brother Steph. Put a 100 in the chat if you can hear me. I think brother Stephen having technical difficulty with his internet. You're right, Sister Veronica. Sometimes people don't believe it until Esau says it, but we know last will be first. All praise. That's right. Waiting on my brother to get back up here. But until he get back up here, I got something for y'all. Let me see. Let me see if did it save, because I downloaded it onto the videos to StreamYard. Let me see if it's on here. Let me see. Let's see. Hold on till he get back. Oh, yeah, it's on here. Let me see. Which one do I want? This one right here. See, even though we came from nothing, listen to what that dude said. And watch this video. Watch this. Remember, we came from nothing, but yet still a global, culturally superpower. Now, look where we come from. Let's watch this video.
Yes, lots of time.
Good time.
Just have to make out what I have, give each one of them a little what I have.
What did you have for dinner today?
I didn't have any dinner.
You're going to have a baby before long.
Yes.
Mrs. Sanders, what does your husband do for a living?
He gets a job in Hayfield.
In Hayfield?
Yes.
How much does he make when he's working?
From $3 to $4 a day.
$3 to $4 a day?
Yes.
And he hasn't worked now in 3 or 4 weeks?
Yes.
Do you get food stamps?
No, because I'm not able to get them.
Why
I ain't got them this month. They cost $70 and I don't have it.
Have you asked for any help from anyone in raising the money to buy those stamps?
No, there ain't no need.
Why?
They ain't gonna give it to you.
Have you been down to the welfare department and talked to them, or has your husband?
No, so the last time I went to the welfare, the lady told me, said that if you have a living husband, that they couldn't give you no help.
Even if he's not working?
Yes.
3 weeks after talking to Dr. Wheeler, Mrs. Sanders gave birth to a severely malnourished baby. 2 days later, the baby died. Alabama's solution to hunger in 15 counties is the federal food stamp program. The U.S. Department of Agriculture sponsors the program, but it is administered locally by the states and counties. Each county has a central office where the stamps are sold.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Food stamps are a means of giving a family a bonus. For a cash payment, $25 for instance, a family receives food stamps worth much more money, perhaps $70 or $80. The stamps, in other words, are worth much more than the cash paid for them.
It has a $2 stamp in it that looks like this.
The cost of stamps varies from family to family. Coupons worth $80, for instance, may cost one family $40 and another only $15. This cost is set by local officials. Many factors affect the cost, such as the size of the family, income, and how much the family usually spends each month for food. Dr. Wheeler examined the children of a family that can't afford food stamps. Their father had not worked in 5 weeks.
Way up high, like that. Come on. We got it. Good girl.
When children don't get enough to eat, their initial response to the world is mistrust.
Louise.
The children here get up hungry, go to bed hungry, and never know anything else in between.
Kind of a bad cold.
They are hungry all the time. They can't even feel the depth of their own hunger.
Hi, Charles. How old are you?
14.
You go to school?
Yes.
Do you get breakfast at home before you go?
Yes. Some have peas.
You have peas?
Yeah.
Well, when you get to school, what do you have to eat there?
No.
You don't have anything to eat when you're at school?
No.
Is there any place at school where you can buy something to eat or get something to eat? Do they cook a meal for you there?
Yes.
Well, why don't you have some?
I don't have money to buy it.
You don't have the money to buy it?
Yeah.
How much does it cost?
25 cents.
It costs 25 cents to have something to eat at school.
Yeah.
Well, what do you do while the other children are eating?
Let's sit there.
Where do you sit?
Let's sit where the little children be sitting.
How do you feel toward the other children who are eating when you don't have anything?
Be ashamed of them.
Are you ashamed?
Yeah, they're hungry.
Why are you ashamed?
I don't have no money.
Dr. Wheeler talked to a woman whose family has been sharecroppers ever since they stopped being slaves. The woman and her husband and 14 children and grandchildren still live on the farm, but it does not support them anymore.
Miss Carlisle, why don't you raise your own food?
Well, I raise just what I can. We raise that okra. We raise all stuff like that in gardens. When we can, but not no corn. That's all so we can go in the food line.
Why no corn?
But we don't have no corn acres.
What do you mean?
The landlord said he sold the corn acres to the governor. And we can't have no corn.
Well, then who plants the corn on it?
Don't nobody plant none. Just the land for the corn lays out into nothing.
The land's there,
That's right.
but
And nothing-
nobody plants it.
That's right. Can't plant it. When you sell it to the government, and whoever sell it gets a check off. You can't raise nothing on it. Just have to stay there.
Now that you can buy food stamps, aren't you able to get more food for your family?
I can't buy them every 2 weeks because I don't have the money. I don't have the $33 every 2 weeks. I don't have nowhere to get it from. My husband don't make but $3.50 a day for the city. And that don't, he don't make over $22 or $23 a week. Now, I couldn't get the food stamp. It's just the price what they want you to pay. If you ain't got that price, why you don't get no food stamps? I just have to go along with it because I can't do no better. I imagine I feel like it because the children go to school together and do a little voting, something they never have did. I never known them to do it. And the younger group can speak a little more plainer, a little more for themselves than we used to do. And that's why the average of the young people is leaving home, going north, why they've been all their life. Some have never been nowhere in their life, but they're leaving Alabama going north. Because they're getting better jobs and they're getting better treatment. The younger people. Because see, the older people, we still here in it. We ain't like the young ones. And that's the reason I figure they don't care where we go or stay here.
How do you think they don't care?
I know they don't care. I don't have to think they don't care. I know they don't care.
All right, brother Stephen.
Hey, that elder spoke boldly, didn't she, man?
Yes, sir. That I was showing that video reference to what you just played. You see where we come from? Sharecropping, slaves, food stamp begging, and all of that. And look where we at right now. Still thriving out of those conditions. We were still thriving. We see how we rise up out of that. They try. This is where they want us begging. That's the point I'm getting to. They want us begging. A savage wants us to beg them for food and water and shelter, when we can do it our damn self, and he know it, but he wants to feel like he's a god. Go ahead, Hebrew. Go ahead with the video.
That's right, Hebrew. I'm gonna read this Malachi. I'm gonna read this Malachi chapter 1. And I'm gonna read 1 through 5. It says, the burden of the word of the Lord to Israel by Malachi. I have loved you, saith the Lord. Yet ye say, wherein have thou loved us? Was not Esau Jacob's brother, saith the Lord? Yet I loved Jacob, and I hated Esau, and laid his mountains and his heritage waste for the dragons of the wilderness. Whereas Edom said, we are impoverished, but we will return and build the desolate places. Thus saith the Lord of hosts, they shall build, but I will throw down, and they shall call them the border of wickedness. And the people against whom the Lord had indignation forever. And your eyes shall see, and ye shall say, the Lord will be magnified from the border of Israel. So, Hebrew, this is the reason why the Most High has indignation for these people, Hebrew.
Mm-hmm.
Because you have to have a certain type of hate. The hate that these people have toward us, Hebrew, it's an unfathomable hatred, bro. Like, it's the kind of hate that I don't even think us as a people, I don't think we can muster that type of hate for people. Now, if somebody do something to one of our children or one of our loved ones, you know, that type of hatred right there that'll build up in our heart, we probably could commit some of those acts toward them in a situation like that. But I'm talking about just a natural, outright hatred and disdain
for everybody,
for people, like
for
they have
people. Mm-hmm. In other words, you're saying you can hate you can hate the people that ain't done nothing to you. You just hate them. That's a demonic, without a cause. That's a demonic mindset, Hebrew. That's that savage Neanderthal way of thinking. You just hate them. Yeah. But right, see, they want us to beg and plead, you know, and crawl on our knees and beg. But see, this is why the black woman had so much resentment toward her black man. Look what we had. Look what the black man had to deal with to provide for his family. They was only giving him $1 or $2 a day baling hay, Hebrew.
And you heard what that woman said. She said, my husband, he don't make $23 every 2 weeks. So that go to show he was giving her everything he made.
That's right.
And it still wasn't enough.
Right. Did you hear? I don't know if you caught the part. He said, The first black woman said, they said I had to get rid of my husband and I can get the food stamps for free. That goes back to
Sad,
that Willie
man.
Lynch. That goes back to that Willie Lynch letter what we read this morning together. The division
That's right.
between the black man and the black woman, and that's why till this day we can see why black women talk the way they talk to us. I'm independent. I'm this. I gotta go get a PhD. I could do this. I could do better than what a man can do. I got money. See, this is what it stems from. It's been you took
That's where
that
it
and
come from,
weaponized
Hebrew.
that. You took that and weaponized it against your own man. Then feminism
Yep.
came after the 60s. That you really went crazy. I give you that right there, Hebrew. Go ahead with the video.
And see, our women, they didn't just choose to have that mindset.
It was
They
put
were
on.
given that mindset.
That's right.
Yeah.
I ain't blaming her. I'm just saying through the conditions that
Oh no, I know what you're saying.
yeah.
No, I know what you're saying.
Yeah, we take full
Yeah,
responsibility.
I know what you're saying.
Yeah. But look what we had to work with though. That's what I'm saying. Look what the condition. I can understand why she thinks the way she thinks. And that she feels the way she feels.
He said
she don't feel protected.
Hey,
she don't feel. Go ahead, Hebrew.
That man said we started with less than nothing.
Mm-hmm.
And then, Hebrew, not only did we start out with less than nothing, but then after slavery, they started sharecropping. Our ancestors would work for them people all year long, Hebrew.
Mm-hmm.
Slaving like a dog.
Mm-hmm.
And get to the end of the year, and it's because they would make them wait until the end of the year before they would pay them. Until the harvest came in.
Mm-hmm.
And they would wait until the end of the year because they would have those little stores on the plantations, and they would have to go and get supplies and seeds and clothing and water and food for their children. And at the end of the year, when they go to Mr. White Man to get paid for their work throughout the year, the white man tell them, you owe me money.
Mm-hmm. Let me show you something, Hebrew. You know, he said we came from nothing and we had to buy our freedom. You know, we had to buy our freedom and do for ourselves and try to provide for our wives, right? You follow me?
Yeah.
You still there, Hebrew? Okay, watch this. Watch this.
I'm here, Hebrew.
But remember what Obama said when he was getting on black men, we need to pull ourselves up by the bootstrap. Well, I got something for y'all. This is what happened when we pull ourselves up by the bootstrap.
So, did y'all know that before the construction of the Biltmore Mansion in Asheville, North Carolina, that land was occupied by a predominantly black community called Old Shallow? Well, I didn't either. It wasn't until scrolling on TikTok, seeing a lot of videos about all of the towns that were flooded, were sundown towns, and I decided to look up the Biltmore Estate Mansion. And come to find out, y'all, it was a town called Old Shallow where formerly enslaved people built their homes after gaining freedom. Essentially, the Biltmore was built on top of lost black neighborhoods from the 1800s. The Old Shallow was a community thriving with its own churches, schools, and social structures. When the Biltmore was built, the Old Shallow community was displaced, effectively erasing their history from the narrative surrounding areas.
You see what I'm talking about? See what happened when you pull yourself? You see what happened when we pull ourselves up by the bootstrap? And we started, what she said, we was thriving as a community during the 1800s now, Hebrew. And that place where they took that place from, the Most High come through there and wiped it out.
He wiped out a bunch of them.
Yeah. Hold on, Hebrew. I gotta go pay for this for you.
All right, I'm gonna start the video back up.
Than yours. Their relations with the rest of the world are better than yours. Their economy is healthier than yours. Their schools are better than yours because they are a people today. Nevertheless, I don't think anyone can dispute the fact that African Americans have become a global cultural superpower. Culturally, they're a superpower. Whatever cultural soft power that America has in the global South, it's African American. And China, one of the most ancient civilizations on earth, over 4,000 years as an organized civilization. You tried to destroy them, tried to poison that society with opium. America has tried for decades to destabilize and undermine and sabotage China. And they're totally surpassing. Today, they're surpassing you in everything. Their technology is better than yours. Their relations with the rest of the world are better than yours. Their economy is healthier than yours. Their schools are better than yours because they are a people with a history of actual homegrown accomplishment and development. And people like this, with a history like this, with a legacy like this, simply cannot be held back for any length of time by a people who do not have a similar history, people who have never actually invested in their own civilizational development. And that's the West. You're going to get left behind. You're going to get surpassed, and you are going to end up being nothing more than a footnote in history, because the peoples of the world who have genuinely developed civilizations cannot be kept down indefinitely. No one, for example, bounced back from Western imperialism and colonization faster than the Muslims, because our foundations are too strong. Our history is too strong. Our achievements are too many. Our culture is too rich. Our beliefs are too powerful. You could only inflict superficial damage on us. The whole history of Western colonialism in the Muslim world only amounts to a flesh wound. Our empire was never based on being a political entity. Political governance was a byproduct of belief. Our empire was an empire of faith. And that empire remains completely intact today. And it will always be intact. But everything that you call Western civilizational achievement is stolen. From your architecture to your philosophy. You are appropriators, cheaters. Even your Greco-Roman so-called philosophers, who themselves took from the Egyptians, even these foundational thinkers of what you like to call Western philosophy, if it had been left to you, they would have all been left in the dustbin of history if it weren't for the Muslims. We taught you what they said. And when you learned it according to Muslim interpretation and correction. Their ideas passed through us before they ever reached you. So even your so-called enlightenment, your discovery that reason and rationality are things that exist. Well, you didn't discover that. We taught you that. And we were able to teach you that even before any Muslim ever read Plato or Aristotle, because the Muslims are people who have always deeply invested in their own intellectual development. So
the biggest companies in the world are willing to pay big bucks for anyone who's able to code. And
the Enlightenment, Europe's big eureka moment, was just copied and pasted. You're fakers. The only way that you can ever have an idea is to take it from someone who has ideas. And you've been historically incredibly stubborn about not developing, not maturing, not civilizing. It's really remarkable. I mean, look, even Christianity, when they tried to spread Christianity, even this corrupted version of the teachings of Nabi Isa alayhi salam, the Prophet Jesus, peace be upon him, when they tried to spread this in Europe, they cravenly adapted it to incorporate already existing pagan ideas, polytheistic beliefs, festivals, practices, and so on, until it bore no resemblance whatsoever, not only to the, didn't bear any resemblance not only to the original teachings of the Prophet Jesus alayhi salam, but not even to the version of Christianity that's followed in the Middle East. Your Christianity was just a repackaging of paganism. Because again,
all right, family, I'm going to stop it right there because I want to show y'all something based on what this Ishmaelite just said. He's speaking on the stolen religion of Yeshua HaMashiach that was stolen by Esau, repackaged, and resold and taught as a pagan religion. A pagan religion. They perverted the words of the Most High Yah. Let me show you. If y'all got your apocrypha, turn with me to Maccabees chapter 1. Let me show y'all something. And another thing that he said that I'm about to bring out in Maccabees chapter 1 through 10, where he talked about how they took everything by the edge of the sword. They took everything by force. They took everything by war. And they forced a pagan religion, a pagan ways. They demented, twisted mindset and forced it on the people of the Most High. And our people, we still suffering from it right now to the day. This is a wicked nation. Listen, these are identity bullies. First Maccabees chapter 1 and verse 1. It says, after Alexander, son of Philip. Now these are the Grecians, family. This is the Grecian captivity that's not spoken of in the 66. This is missing out of the 66, but this is the Grecian captivity. Listen to what it says. Alexander, son of Philip. This right here is Alexander the Greek. Some call Alexander the Great. He was a Grecian. The Macedonian, who came from the land of Kittim. What is Kittim? Kittim is Edom, Esau. Esau was in the land of Kittim. This is who he's speaking about. He said, who came from the land of Kittim, had defeated King Darius of the Persians and the Medes. Okay, we were under the Persian Mede captivity, right? But the Greeks came in and defeated the Persian and Medes and took us captive from under the captivity of the Persian Medes. That's why we went from the Persian Mede captivity to the Greek captivity. That's what this is. Now, these are historical facts that break non-believers' backs. Now, y'all always hear me say, in order to truly understand the scriptures, in order to truly understand who we are, where we came from, we got to know our history. We got to know these captivities, right? We went from the Persian Mede captivity immediately into the Greek captivity. It says, he succeeded him, it says, after Alexander, son of Philip the Macedonian, who came from the land of Kittim, had defeated King Darius of the Persian and Medes. He succeeded him as king. He had previously become king of Greece. He fought many battles, conquered strongholds, and put to death the kings of the earth. Alexander the Greek went throughout the earth, killing the kings of the earth. These are barbaric people. These are murderers, bloodthirsty people. It says, he fought many battles and conquered strongholds and put to death the kings of the earth. He advanced to the ends of the earth and plundered many nations. What does plundered mean? It means to take by force. When the earth became quiet before him, he was and his heart was lifted up. He gathered a very strong army and ruled over countries, nations, and princes, and they became tributary to him. Everybody had to pay him money, right? All the kings, all the princes, all the nations, and all the countries paid tribute to Alexander the Greek. Verse 5 says, after this he fell sick and perceived that he was dying. So he summoned his most honored officers, who had been brought up with him from his youth, and divided his kingdom among them while he was still alive. So these are his honored officers, which means these are the bloodthirsty men that went out and committed all the murders. These are the bloodthirsty savages that went throughout the earth and murdered all the kings. And he turned over his kingdom to them and broke it up. And don't forget now, these are booty-bashing Greeks. So when they went throughout the earth conquering everybody,
that's my
all
turn.
the nations,
That's
all
my
the
turn. That's my turn now. Wait a minute now.
Okay.
I'm supposed to say that. Them booty bashing Greeks. Yeah, go ahead, Hebrew.
Okay. So as they went throughout the earth conquering everybody, guess what else they were doing to them? That's right. Booty bashers. So they spreaded this activity all throughout the earth. When they conquered these nations of people and these kings, it was no holds barred when they went into a city. It was no holds barred when they went into a nation. If they saw a woman, child, or man that they wanted to ravish, they had free range to do it. That's where these customs come from. This is not, these wicked acts of sodomites, that's not from us. That's a learned behavior to Israel. And then our people holler, I was born like that. No, that's a learned behavior. All right. Verse 6. So he summoned his most honored officers who had been brought up with him from youth and divided his kingdom among them while he was still alive. And after Alexander had reigned 12 years, he died. So he committed all this wickedness in a 12-year period. Think about that. It said the earth was quiet before him. So can you imagine the brutality that he had to inflict on the earth to conquer the whole earth in 12 years? This was a damn animal. He had a bloodthirst. This dude was a savage. He was a Neanderthal. He was a demon.
He's a devil.
And these the same people that we dealing with today. These are the devil.
The devil.
All right. What was I? Okay, verse 8. Then his officers began to rule each in his own place. They all put on crowns after his death, and so did their descendants after them for many years, and they caused many evils in the earth. From them came forth a sinful root, Antiochus Epiphanes, son of King Antiochus. He had been a hostage in Rome. He began to reign in the 137th year of the kingdom of the Greeks. So they were ruling for 137 years before Antiochus Epiphanes even took over. All right, you got anything, Hebrew?
And you know, that's why it's so hard for our people to understand the New Testament. You know, after we go to church on Sunday, get the Apocrypha, read First Maccabees and Second Maccabees. What happened going into from the Greek captivity to the Roman captivity? You see what I'm saying? That's what's missing. I think just I know if we get that understanding of reading First and Second Maccabees, it was a vision on understanding. That's just the facts.
That's right, Hebrew.
Go ahead, Hebrew.
All right, here we go.
You are dead set against developing. You're dead set against developing intellectually, spiritually, morally, and in every other kind of way. I'm telling you, your ancestors have betrayed you. They betrayed you because they never bothered to invest in your future. They never bothered to actually create and develop as a people. And they only took and stole and pillaged and pretended. So they did not bequeath to you any sort of civilization that contributed genuinely to mankind. It's a so-called civilization only obsessed with destruction, with destructive power, with annihilation, with violence and death. All
right.
Raped, stole, and pretended. Who's running around here pretending to be us? Who stole our heritage? Who raped our forefathers? Oh, that's right, Hebrew. The synagogue of Satan. Raped, robbed, and stole, and pretending to be righteous, pretending to be moral, pretending to be this upstanding pillar of democracy. Yeah, identity thieves. It's just a damn shame before the Most High that
hey,
they
I'm
can just.
I'm gonna show you who they are. Hold on 1 second, Hebrew.
All right, Hebrew.
Keep talking. Let me go find them.
Yeah, that's what he said. They raped, robbed, and pretended. Pretenders. We call them wannabes in the hood. They're wannabe. Wannabe you. A wannabe. And it just ain't belittling nobody. This is history. This is known facts. That's you know what? I said this in a live while back, brothers and sisters. Those people over there in the Middle East, so-called, ain't no such thing as a Middle East, but over there in that side of the hemisphere, they know world history, the true and real world history. The people in the West, they don't know real world history, but they do. They know what's up. They know who's who. They know what's what over there. It's just the people over here that are blind to what the true world history is, the truth about world history. And this is why they want to go throughout the United States with CRT, critical race theory. This is why they want to erase history in the West because it shines a negative light on how they was able to achieve and steal and rape and rob folks for their wealth and their heritage. This is why they want to get rid of history now. This is why they don't want to talk in their schools. Go ahead, brother.
All right. These are the people that we talking about right here. This is what they do right here. This was a thriving city. These people had hospitals, universities, homes, restaurants, just like we got here in America. Look at what it looked like now. Look at it. Look at the destruction. And imagine the children and the women and old people that's under that stuff. Just look at it.
Stop right there, Hebrew. Stop on them images. I want to paint a picture.
Look at that.
Woo-wee. That's a shame, man.
Look at it. It ain't nothing left. Twisted steel and concrete, blood and gore. That's utter savagery. He grew to do that to another human being. Look at that. And guess who paid for that? Guess who supplied the weapons for that? Guess.
This is the reason why I've canceled my internet subscription.
What if I told you that there's no such thing as no internet connection? It's an artificially created problem so that internet providers could pocket cash from roaming fees. Just recently, a former telecommunications engineer presented a groundbreaking invention.
Yeah, the United States funded them weapons for them to go through there. Is that in Gaza, Hebrew, or Palestine, or whatever?
Yeah, that's in Gaza.
Yeah, the United States gave them bullets, them weapons to do them folks like that, to bomb them back into the Stone Age like that. Can you imagine cuz having a business there, a thriving business, and they come and wipe that stuff out, and you got to start all over? If you was blessed enough to escape with your life, how would you feel, Hebrew? You done build a business to lend to pass down to your family.
All your generational wealth just gone. Look at this, Hebrew. Look. These before and after. That's what it looked like before. Look at it. Look at that. Now look at it. Before, after. Before, lying, man. Savagery.
Hey, that's how America gonna look in a little bit. That's exactly how it's gonna look.
But that's all I got, Hebrew. I just wanted to share that with the family.
Man, I enjoyed it, Hebrew. I mean, I'm gonna have to use that video with that dude. Yeah, I enjoy myself.
Yeah, I'll send it to you. Yeah, man, you know, hey, back in the day, boy, we used to have, hey, this time of the night, boy, this when we used to get crunk up.
Hey, we used to do
Hey,
lives
we'll just
all
be
the
getting
time.
started
Nigga.
right by now.
Oh yeah, we be getting started by now. Be on about 1, 2 o'clock in the morning. Oh man, those were the good old days.
Man, I'm talking about all night long. Yeah, yeah.
Hey, Hebrew.
Burning the midnight oil. I
Hey,
know
Hebrew.
it, man.
Check this out, Hebrew. Check this out.
But
You ain't
all
got that
praise to the
video.
Most High. Shalom to everybody in the chat, and we appreciate y'all tuning in. We had Sister Jim in the chat, Arlene Foster, Sister Brenda Hill, Dwayne Williams, Leonard De Yehuda, Cindy Carr. All right, go ahead, Hebrew.
Oh, I ain't got nothing, Hebrew. We need to do that live tomorrow. With that girl talking crazy. I want to get it out the way.
We'll try our best to get it out there. Hey,
Yeah,
you know, every time we make a promise we're gonna do it, we wind up having to work.
I know it, man. I know it. No, you right.
All right, let me finish calling out the chat. Sister Arlene Foster. Let me see who else we got. Cleophas Brown. Sister Jim, I think I already said your name. Veronica Taylor. Shalom. Sister Shonda. I think that's all the people that I can see. Shalom, family. But that's it. That's all I got, family. I guess we're going to get up out of here. I think Mikael kind of suffering from what I was suffering from earlier, some technical difficulties.
Yeah, you can't hear me,
All
Hebrew?
praise to the Most High. All right.
Oh,
well,
go
with
ahead.
that,
Shalom,
you
Hebrew.
going in and out.
All right. Shalom,
I
shalom,
can hear
man.
you now. Go ahead. You loud and clear now.
Yeah, I was just saying shalom to everybody in the chat. We'll get with y'all, try to get with y'all tomorrow.
All right, that's it?
Shabbat. Yeah, that's it. That's it.
All right. All right, shalom, bro.